Yippee-ki-yay, mother forkers. Oh, did you think I said... Well, actually, I said fork. So today, we're going to try to find out what is forking in chess, how can you actually use it in your games, and examples of it from professionals. So let's learn what forking is together. Alright, so first up, I have this terms definition explanation. So forks are very useful when you want to enjoy a delicious meal. Oh wait, but in chess, they are also a handy tool for munching your opponent's pieces. I love to eating terminology, okay? Learn everything about this tactic and how you can use it to win more matches. So, what is a fork in chess? A fork is a basic chess tactic that consists of a single piece attacking two or more pieces at the same time. The attacking piece is known as the forking piece, while the attack troops are known as the forked pieces. Yeah, low-key, sometimes you get forked when you get forked in chess. Although every piece can deliver a fork, the most striking forks come from a knight. Because of the unique way it moves, a forking knight can be captured by pieces it's threatening. Because it is also a minor piece, it can be traded off with almost no restrictions. The deadliest forks are the ones that are forcing. So usually those forks involve an attack on the enemy king and create an inescapable threat. Alright, so in this example, the bishop is putting the king in check, but the king has to move, so then you win the rook. How do you take advantage of a fork? So, forks are potent weapons in a chess game. It is often impossible to defend all the fork pieces at the same time, allowing the attacker to win material. In the game below, played by former world champions GM Tigran Petrosian and GM Boris Spassky, Petrosian used the threat of a fork to win the game. In his last move, the Iron Tiger temporarily sacrificed his queen to create a fork and capture Spassky's royal lady and rook. Since Petrosian would have a significant material advantage after this line, Black resigned. So let's see. Next here, queen is sacrificed, king takes, and then you could see a fork between the queen and the king. King moves, obviously knight takes. Okay. To employ a fork successfully, you must deeply understand the way each piece in your army moves and pay close attention to the position of your enemies pieces on the board. Doing so will get you ready to pounce whenever you have the chance to attack more than one piece at the same time. Now that you've learned about the fork, it's time to test your skills. So, is there a way for white to win material in this game? Yes, if I move my knight over here, then I forked both the rook and the king, and we'll go here and we win the rook. Easy peasy. It looks like white has forked your pieces. Can you find a way to turn the game around and win material yourself? Where am I forked? Okay, between the two bishops. But if I do this, I put the king in check. King has to move. I do a little slide backsies and I take that rook. Okay. The enemy is surrounding your king. Is everything lost? Or can you create a crushing counterattack? Probably has something to do with forking. I think... Well, how do I do a fork here? Am I... Black to move. Okay, so black to move. Oh, I do this. Duh, that was obvious fork. I'm like... Okay, and then we take the knight there. Cool. You now know what a fork is and how to use this tactic to get ahead in your games. Tactics are a crucial part of chess and you should be familiar with every one. Alright, moving on to the second article. So next up, do you know this rare chess fork? So now we have a basic understanding of how to fork in chess. So fork is one of the most important tactical elements in chess. There are dozens of different forks in chess, and I'm sure you've seen many of them. Some of the forks are very common. So one of them is a knight fork on f7 or c7, or f2 and c2 for black. It looks like this. Okay, yeah, forking both the rook and the queen. Or this, and I'm forking both the rook and the king. So pawn fork after temporary piece sacrifice. Yeah, so maybe you sacrifice a pawn or something else, and then you either win the bishop or the knight here usually. Okay. Here's another example. The pawn is forking both the bishop and the knight on the opposite side. And these are the most common kinds of forks, but there's one fork that I've never actually seen played. It is a queen fork where she attacks two opponent rooks. Here's one important detail. A simple fork where queen attacks two rooks is not that unusual. look at the following game. This is between Gabriel Sargsyan versus Li Chao. Let's see, what is being forked here? Okay, the 2 rooks are being forked because neither of them are protected right now. So even if they move one or the other, like one of them is being taken here, okay. I'm talking about situations where one or both attacked rooks are on their initial ranks. Let's look at the following trap. Ooh, okay, yeah. So here, the bishop is still separating the queen and the rook, so it's not protected over here. And then same for this side with the king and the bishop, like the bishop protecting and separating. So you're going to win a rook here either way with this fork. I've seen many games where black actually fell for the 10 e6 trick, but in all of them the players saw what happens if they capture the e6 pawn, so they avoided immediate catastrophe. Or take an example from a very famous game, Fischer Tal from the 1959 Candidates Tournament. Could you imagine Tal falling for such a trick? Of course not. So again, the fork never happened. Try to find out what would have happened if Tal had accepted Fischer's sacrifice. Okay, if I'm like, oh no, let me move my rook out of the way. Okay, then yeah, could still slide in over there, so that is okay. Well, I have to confess, I saw one game in an old book of tactics where this fork actually happened. My only concern is that White's play is so weird for a titled player that I suspect it could be some sort of hoax. Anyway, here it is. So, pawn makes a blunder here by doubling up, I'm guessing. If they took, or if they moved their queen up instead of taking with the pawn, then it would have been better. Go here. And White resigns because, yeah, there's a fork between 2 rooks, so they're losing big piece either way here. Okay, I see. Now you can imagine my excitement when we all got a chance to see this unusual fork at a very high level. Still, it would have been rare. It would have been great to see this rarity in a top game. Can you spot the combo? Okay, can we do a fork here? Block to move. It's going to be something to do with these 2, right? Pieces being forked here. Do I move over? Yeah, that was unprotected, so that makes sense. Oh, shoot, and then I lose a rook too, okay. And it's honestly pretty bad either way, because I don't even know... Is that not mate? No, because I could, like, you know, move my pieces down, but I think, like, eventually I would get mated there. I see now. Okay. What is the trick in this one? Okay, this one is not one that I need to play. So is anything being forked right now? No, but the next move is knight out, king out, pawn, queen takes. Ooh, and we got the double rook fork. Okay. Now you see how difficult it is to spot the fork in tournament games, but maybe you've just seen a bunch of games with this fork. I have not, so good to see these examples. Now we're gonna end on a fork chess lesson, so we're gonna like finally learn how to fork, and let's see. White appears to be in trouble, but can you find a game-winning fork? I can. I am gonna move to f6, and then I'm forking both the queen on d5 and the king on g8, and we should win material here. Perfect, amazing. How can White use the queen to fork Black's king and rook? Probably like this, because then I can get the rook with no worries about the king like getting me. Perfect, amazing. Okay. Black is down a knight for a pawn. Can you find a fork that regains material? So, black is down a pawn. If I go here, no. Can't go here with it. Wow, I really can't do a lot with my queen there. The only thing I can think of is to go here, but I don't even know how to get the pawn after. Ooh, wait, no, I'll do this. Smart, okay. There we go, there we go. We finally figured it out. A little bit slow, but it's like really early in the morning for me, so please give me some grace. Black just captured a pawn with knight to e4. Can you find a fork that wins material for White? What could I go here? Yeah, and then I can get a knight either way. This one would be preferable because then I'm putting the king in check, and then, you know, I can get the rook after, but of course they'd probably not choose that one to move. Or they'd better protect this one, you know. Black's queen is a serious problem, but a surprising fork can make this queen disappear. How can you attack the king and the queen at the same time? Ooh, I know. This is one of those situations where you don't promote to a queen, because like usually you promote to a queen if you get a pawn to the other side, but you're gonna promote to a knight here. And then perfect, amazing. That is correct. So under promoting the pawn into a knight, fork the king, queen. Now let's win the queen. And there we go, lesson complete. So now we just learned how to fork, when to use it, and examples of it in professional games. So that is going to be it for today. Thank you so much for watching this video of learning with me what a fork is in chess. If you enjoyed this video, let me know down below. Also have all the articles linked in the description if you want to try them out yourself. Thank you so much again for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to French Vanilla, and have a great day.